What's up, fam? Back again. Today, I'm working on my race car, not my show car, street car. Today, I'm working on my '73 Plymouth Duster 360 409 stroker drag car, full slicks, roll cage. A little something different. Just trying to make it a little bit more comfortable for me. This car's been set up like this for a long time. Some things I want to do to make it a little bit more comfortable for me is I'm going to try to do the detachable steering wheel. I think it's the NRG steering wheel. It's blue just like the car. After that, I have to do the engine diaper or they won't let me race. It does have a drive shaft loop on it. Probably going to put a second one. They say they couldn't see it. It needs to be a certain amount of inches away from the transmission for driver safety. I guess drive shaft has been shearing, snapping, and going through the floorboard and into the drivers and injuring them. So we're definitely going to do that. We got to be safe. We don't want to get hurt out there on the drag strip. So those are the three main things I have to do. The next thing is I want to adjust the seat to make it more comfortable. Maybe put an aftermarket seat in there. I don't know. You know, everybody likes to rock the Sparkos, but I don't know if that's the way I'm going to go or not. But I just want to make it more comfortable. That way my driving experience is better. I can have a little bit of creature comforts. Then that would be awesome. And then probably put an automatic shifting transmission in there, kind of like a Power Glide or Turbo 400 with an air shifter or something, just to go through the gears on its own at the RPMs it's supposed to shift at, instead of me worrying about keeping the car straight, keeping the front wheels on the ground, traction, RPMs, fuel pressure. If I can take one of those things off the table for me to worry about, then it probably will make me a more consistent driver. Now, don't get me wrong, it's fun to do all that stuff manually, but to have some of it done for you is a whole lot more efficient, and that's why some guys are as fast as they are, because the car does the majority of the work. All they have to do is just hold on to it, hold on to the steering wheel, and keep it between the lines, and everything else does what it's supposed to do. So that's what we're doing today. Probably going to make a trip up to Summit sometime this week to go get some more parts to do the rest of the stuff. But today, the only thing I'm working on is the steering wheel. All right, pull the front ratchet straps off. Take the ones up the rear. And make sure it has enough fuel to get into the garage. Move it straight. Set these off to the sides because I don't want to run over my turnbuckles for my ratchet straps. All right. Now let's see if it has fuel left in it. It runs on 116 octane, which evaporates very quickly. So just sitting here for a few weeks, it could possibly be out of gas. So let's see. Yep. She's dry, too dry to start. So let's go get some fuel out of the garage. So I guess that's one more thing I got to do this week, is stop by Mr. Garvin's machine shop who actually runs the Little River drag strip, and have him top off my fuel, because I normally keep 3 jugs of 116 just in case I get to do a few runs and don't want to run out of gas at the starting line, which I have done before. And then, you know, racing is a family. There's other racers that might need some help, so you always want to be ready to help somebody else out. So yeah, 2 empty jugs, which normally I don't do, and then this one might be a quarter full, just enough probably to get me in the garage and do some testing here in the driveway. And you can get it from the track on Fridays, but it's a little cheaper to get it from Garver's Machine Shop before Fridays at the track. So I'm gonna put some gas in here and be back again. Whew, all right. Got everything unhooked. Got fuel in the fuel cell. I'm going to connect my battery for power. Make sure my clearance is good, back is straight up. No power steering in these old cars, and you know, race cars, you delete a lot of stuff for weight reduction, so it's going to take me a while to get it into the garage, but I should be good to go now. Okay. All right, we're in. Made it into the workshop. So, turned off all my power. Disconnect my battery again. And now we're ready to do some work. Fast car, slow car. $730, $740. This is probably $850, $900 horsepower. So this is what we're working on today. See how it goes. All right, I don't know how good the lighting is, but I never took a steering wheel off before. So this is going to be some trial and error for me. This one, being that it's a race car, of course, it doesn't have a airbag system in it, so it should be what I expect it to be. It's just these 3 bolts and this one nut. I'm kind of concerned about how I'm going to keep the rack and pinion steering column straight while I try to break the torque on this nut to get it off there. That I have no idea about. So we'll see. Millimeter on that one. Don't have an extension though in this kit. These bolts, from what I think, is just this cover that's on here for some reason. Maybe if there was a horn to put on here, but there's no horn, so I don't know why this cover wasn't taken off before. Probably don't need to do this, but I really want to see if there's any way, anything underneath here that I could possibly mess up before I take this off. Eventually I want this whole thing off of there. So that loosened it up a little bit. That's interesting. Let's see what size this big one is. Try the 17 and 19 millimeter. Well, it's bigger than those, so That's a 13/16. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go get my other tools. May have to use my impact bit set or deep well socket set to see if it fits on there. Because I don't think my crescent wrench will give me the angle I need. I'll try it real quick. I think that's turning the whole rack. Yeah, that's turning the whole rack underneath the car, which is what I was worried about. And I don't know if me turning the rack and pinion with the wheels is going to mess anything up underneath, so let's see if I can find a way to keep the rack still while I turn that nut on the steering wheel to try to break it off and get the steering wheel off. Alright, got my impact set. I think I might just go old school and put a set of vice grips on the rack while it's spinning, or to stop it from spinning, and just butt it up against the wheel well. I think that might work, so we'll find my vice grips, try it that way. So got the vice grips on the rack and pinion. As I spin it left to loosen it, the vice grips should butt up against the wheel well on the inside front driver's tire to give me some kind of leverage to turn this thing and not spin the rack itself. My other concern is that I either strip some of the gears inside the rack and pinion or the vice grip strip, the outside of the rack itself, which is what I don't want. Alright, so that's a 22 millimeter. Give my 1/2-inch drive, ratchet. See if I can turn this. So it backed off, so I think I got it. Going the right way. It's working. The end of this nut though is pretty beat up. Put an extension on here to try to get a little bit more clearance. All right. So that's how you take the steering wheel off a 1973 Plymouth Duster without an airbag. So this is the old one. And this is going to be the new detachable steering wheel from NRG. NRG, if you see this video, I might need some help and some sponsorships here soon. Okay, take a break because it's hot in here. I'm trying to get a good angle. I don't know if that's good enough, but this is where I'm at now. Got the steering wheel, knocked all the stuff off. Got this center piece loose, and just wiggle it and comes off. So hopefully that'll give me enough clearance for the attachment that the wheel goes in to do the quick breakaway. I don't know how pretty I can make this with this old school steering column still on there though, because I need to be able to put this back on, then put the nut back on to hold this on there so that steering wheel can mount to it. So that's the challenge right now. So it should sit like that. Just testing it right now. Once again, trial and error, running into clearance problems, so I'm gonna have to remove this centerpiece where a horn would go, which means I gotta disassemble this top half of this steering wheel to get that off there. It's turning into a much longer event than I wanted it to be, but it'll be worth it in the end. To get in and out of the car easily will save a lot of hassle if something were to go wrong, which I hope it doesn't. But getting in and out of vehicles, especially with road cages going 150 miles per hour or so in 10-11 seconds, if something goes wrong, is a small price to pay, me taking the time here to save me precious seconds and minutes later on down the road. At least that's how I feel about it. These are all just my number 3 Allen key in my set. I don't know exactly what size it is. But NRG is a pretty good brand steering wheel. I've seen a lot of people use it. A lot of people get stuff from them. Shout out to the homie Spawn. He used to drive the Spawn Challenger down here in Texas, in Austin, Texas, San Antonio area, I think. I met him in Austin at Coda. I think he recently moved to El Paso, but he put me on to the NRG stuff. He was actually sponsored by them and had it on his Challenger. He sold the Challenger, now he drives a Dodge Ram 1500, so he's still in the Mopar family. I think the Ram, he's going with a Spawn theme too, but it's a little bit different. That Challenger was nuts. See if I can just spin this off without taking the whole assembly off. It's not cooperating. Nothing's going to be easy today. Alright, I already loosened the 2 screws at the bottom. So that's the horn button. Steering wheel. Thought I'd be able to get to these 2 as well. There we go. So now I should have the clearance I need to get everything on there. Guess I don't really have to put this cap back on. Just keep it raw looking like that, but it looks a little better. So we'll be back when I put that on. Okay, so I test fitted it before I bolted everything down. I tightened the main bolt on the steering column down just to give me a little bit more clearance. And it's locked into place now, so quick release, steering wheel off. So I think once I get it bolted, secure it further down, it'll be a lot smoother. Right now you kind of got to play with it to get it to go into place. and that's not what I want. But I think once I get it bolted down a little bit further, it should be fine. So actually turning the steering column now with the wheel. Quick release. Attached. So now it should be good to go. I'm going to tighten it up a little bit more. Put the rest of these screws on there. I don't care how it looks without the horn thingy, but I got the clearance I need. So now if anything happens, it's easy to get out. All this clearance right here made it really hard before. Put it back on. It's locked into place. Just got to work on trying to get it to where I can put it on, and my steering wheel be straight. But just like the last steering wheel, what I can do is put a piece of tape to let me know where straight is. Put it on there. That way, at least when I'm driving, and if the wheels are in the air on the launch, I know where straight up and down is. So I think that'll do it. I think we're good to go for today. Detachable steering wheel from NRG, 1973 Plymouth Duster. Peace. Whew, that was tough. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, turn on that notification bell. Make sure you comment below. Tag me when you see me. If you have any questions about anything I do, anywhere I plan on being in the future, hit me up. Old steering wheel, new steering wheel, detachable. It was tougher than I thought. But I think we're going to take Lady Deadpool's quad out just to make sure we test it and cool myself off, because it's 90-something degrees today and it's pretty hot. So if anybody can hook up AC in my car hauler trailer, hit me up. But we taking that out right now for a spin to cool off. Peace. Till next time.